Regarding this device, there are two particular aspects that didn't entirely align with my initial expectations. Firstly, I actually much prefer the USB-C charging port to be located at the back, you see? That way, I can plug it in and comfortably use it without the cable trailing out from the front. The second point is this. The sides of the screen are suspended on both sides, but they didn't add a silicone or rubber pad, did they? Many people don't seem to mind, so I'll use it for a while and then evaluate. Alright, let's open it up and check it out. Oh, there's a spacer here. Perhaps they were concerned the screen might get damaged in transit, right? Well, when I initially opened the hinge, it felt quite substantial. I mean, the hinge opens with remarkable ease, yet it still manages to hold its position reliably. Right? Very effortless. Wow, this is the issue I was mentioning. I'm genuinely quite particular about this gap. Oh, this gap here. After applying a tempered glass screen protector, I might look into getting 2 silicone pads to place here, you know? I'd much prefer it if you did it like Shandiao, where on the Shandiao this screen area isn't perfectly flat. Its edge is actually raised to provide sufficient space for the joystick, correct? So here, they opted for this part to press against the screen, preventing it from lowering, right? However, I'd much prefer it to be more aesthetically pleasing. You could have completely wrapped the edges, avoiding such a large gap, couldn't you? Okay, regarding the opening angle, there's 1 position, 2 positions, and 3 positions, correct? It feels quite decisive. Some have mentioned a sound when opening it, but I haven't noticed any. Oh, actually, there is a very slight sound coming from the hinge. Okay, that doesn't significantly impact things. Alright, now let's take a look at the weight of this device. Okay, you can see that the weight is approximately 300 grams. Around 360 grams. Yeah, about 360 grams. Well, this weight, I actually think it's quite light. It is truly pretty light. Because if we contrast it, let's contrast it with the Shandiao Flip 2. When I first got the Shandiao Flip 2, I genuinely felt it was very light. That one is 366 grams, right? Let's take a moment to examine the Shandiao Flip 2. It's slightly, just a little lighter, about 50 grams lighter than that one. Now, let's compare their dimensions again. Let's compare their sizes. Compared to the Shandiao Flip 2, the thickness is basically identical, right? And the width is just a little bit wider, correct? And the side width is also slightly a bit larger. But overall, the two devices are actually pretty much the same size, okay? Both are considered quite portable, a size that can fit into a relatively large pocket. Alright, so we're going to... Now let's compare it with the GPD Win Mini 2025. This unit weighs 500 grams, right? Of course, with the crystal case, it will be a bit heavier. Let's take a look. Okay, compared to the Win Mini, in terms of size, there's quite a noticeable difference. It's still significantly smaller than the Win Mini. It's a whole lot smaller, isn't it? Alright, let's open it up and check it out. I genuinely can't resist these clamshell handheld consoles. Actually, this year, the one I was really looking forward to was AYN's Pocket DS, you know, because I still wish the screen could be a bit larger, right? But it's... The light bleed on this lower screen, it's really something I just cannot tolerate. I truly cannot stand it. Alright, all three devices are side by side. I truly can't resist clamshell handheld consoles. I simply can't resist them. If the AYN Pocket DS hadn't had that light bleed issue on its bottom screen, it would have been a definite purchase for me this year. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the additional accessories I bought. The awkward part is, my device just arrived today, but the accessories came days ago. Alright, so, the official accessories are quite plentiful, aren't they? You can select them as options. As for me, I chose the hand strap along with a soft case. But frankly speaking, this soft case is somewhat of a letdown. For over 20 yuan, it's merely a cloth pouch, and the dimensions of this pouch aren't even. It's not custom sized for the device at all, it's just a huge soft case. Well then, if I were to carry it, I would actually still recommend using this case I bought for the Handheld Flip 2. I think this case is a perfect fit, as the official store does have. There's a hard case for sale, but I don't want to use one on this device. A hard case takes up too much space, completely eliminating its portability. This soft case, relatively speaking, doesn't take up much room, right? And the protection is decent. The main issue with a soft case is that the shoulder buttons aren't well protected, but that's okay. I'm using it, and I think it's okay. I really don't want to use a hard case because it completely negates the machine's portability, right? You can't even put it in a small bag. Yes, a hand strap, a soft case. And then, I additionally bought an upper screen protector. Okay, it came with a lower screen protector. A lower screen protector. This protector, covers the entire lower screen. What I mean is, besides the screen itself, it also covers this entire surrounding area, leaving only the joystick exposed, and it wraps around everything else. Okay, this kind of uniquely shaped film is only available from the official store, so this is it. It's an absolute must-have. And then there's one other thing. I bought its TPU case. Honestly, for those with OCD, the fact that the official company released such an accessory makes me incredibly, incredibly pleased. After all, the Handheld Flip 2 didn't even have a case. You should definitely use one, right? Without a case, it's impossible. You have to ensure the exterior is well protected, right? Only then can you truly do justice to the esteemed next owner, right? The devices I sell are generally in like-new condition. Alright, let's take a look. My only regret regarding this particular item is that this TPU case isn't available in black. I was a bit concerned about that. Naturally, it's transparent, which I suppose is acceptable. However, transparent cases do have a tendency to yellow rather quickly. Despite that, I'm quite fond of these TPU cases. Right? Besides providing thorough protection, it also offers a decent level of shock and drop resistance, demonstrating good impact resilience. The packaging itself is quite thoughtfully designed, separating the top and bottom parts. They're packaged, both with silicone pads, but the film on this one seems to be on the case itself, which doesn't look particularly clean. There's a slight foggy residue on it. This is precisely why, if there were a black version, I would definitely buy it, because with a black one, I wouldn't be as concerned about this issue, right? Okay, let's go ahead and put this case on and check it out. This kind of soft two-piece case actually demands quite high precision in its molding. Why is that? Because if the molding isn't done correctly, you'll end up with a situation where it won't snap on tightly, or it'll easily fall off. Alright. The top part is stuck. Oh, this makes it look a bit like the GPD one. Ugh, this case just can't fully cover the hinge on this side. But I understand, because if you cover it completely, it might interfere with the hinges opening and closing. However, for someone with OCD, it's a bit uncomfortable, just a little bit unsettling. Alright, so look at this. There's a bit of a misty film right here that doesn't seem to wipe away. Alright, so this is how it looks once the case is on. You see, it's better than nothing. Absolutely better than nothing. Now, let's briefly power it on and check it out. Oh, it vibrates when it starts up. Huh? Is the battery dead? Oh, I just had to press it a little longer than usual. Overall, I must say, I find this device to be quite exquisite and visually appealing. Alright, it guides you through a startup wizard right from the beginning. First, you select your preferred language. We'll opt for simplified Chinese. Next, it prompts you to connect to the internet, and after that, you proceed to the next step. Next, we select the time zone, which defaults to Beijing time. Then, we choose the launcher. The question is, do we go with the standard Android launcher or the SO launcher? Let's take a quick look to decide. Alright, I think we'll stick with the Android launcher for now, and next we move on to this section. As for the navigation bar style, will we choose gestures or 3-button navigation? We'll go with gestures. Configuration is now complete. Alright, so the bottom screen is now lit up. The bottom screen is indeed illuminated. To be honest, I've bought many devices for these kinds of scenarios, but truthfully, I'm not a deep-level gamer. Right? As a member of the post-80s generation, I might use it occasionally to play emulators. But what I'm truly anticipating is its multitasking capabilities, you know? Watching videos on the top screen while simultaneously doing something else on the bottom. I'm genuinely excited for that kind of usage scenario. Alright, overall, I still truly love this device. I absolutely adore it. Oh, and I have some great news for everyone. After I put on this crystal case, this silicone protective cover, look, it actually covers up that gap. That's a very pleasant surprise for me. I no longer need to purchase and install a rubber pad myself, do I? Once this case is on, it automatically covers up this specific area. While there's still a slight opening, I believe its resistance to compression has noticeably increased, so I'll definitely give this case a positive review.